Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dragagon, and this is GregTech New Horizons. So I took a little bit of time offline in order to complete the production of a stack of stainless steel. And then after that, I did a couple of other things, just trying to get stuff prepared. You can see right back here, I've got my advanced coke brick oven, the thing that can smelt charcoal really quickly by using more charcoal. I just have it set up there because I was just looking at the speed and working with it a little bit there. Over here you'll see I plop down two fluid extractors, and that can, extract the charcoal that gets produced, producing the wood tar. And then I have this other machine set up right here, which is the advanced distillery, which can then take the wood tar and turn it into benzene. In the meantime, I also built an advanced gas generator over there. I've got the benzene in there. I was using it to supplement power since I only have 1 amp of MV going over there. Slapping that thing down and putting the little bit of benzene that I've produced so far made it so that I had 2 amps of MV, or, half of what I need for HV, and that speeds up the smelting things in the EBF just a little bit. I probably should have done it before I made all of the stainless steel. It probably would have helped, but yeah, I wasn't thinking that far ahead and was getting wrapped around the axle with all kinds of different decisions that I could make. But since I did finish all of that stainless steel, I updated my priorities. I went ahead and I built everything necessary for the copter pack, to include the 2-cylinder diesel engine. So you can see up here I was keeping track of what stuff I was making. And then here's the first 3 machines that I've decided I'm going to make. I went ahead and made all of the different pieces to include an HV pump. I'm not sure. Oops. No, I need that. There we go. Put those back in there. I'm not sure where I moved the pump to. The pump is around here somewhere. Because I certainly haven't used it yet, but that one's an LV one, so I'm not sure. Oh, there it is, right down here. Okay, so there's my HV pump just sitting there waiting for its next project. So we'll go ahead and make this 2-cylinder diesel engine. That should complete another step in the copter pack quest here. Where is that? Getting around without dying. Here we go, in the copter pack. There you can see we have that optional task done. That then completes this part of the optional task, and now all we need to do is plug it in and make our copter pack. So there we go, fantastic. Now I've got a copter pack that I can hover around in. I can get up to, I think it's a height of 100 without it like dying out, which is more useful in the Twilight Forest than it is here in the overworld, because in the overworld a height of 100 is, like I'm sitting at 64 right now, so a height of 100 is only another 36 blocks higher, whereas in the Twilight Forest, you're sitting around, I think it's like 32 or something like that, is at the low point where the water level is. So a little bit better use there. From there, the other stuff that I had prepared to make is I have everything I need to make this diamond grinding head, and that was because one of the first things I wanted to make is this HV Macerator. The HV Macerator gives us a second output, and that second output helps us to get those 10% chance on things. So right now inside of my little skystone chest, I've got like 14 crushed zinc ore, and now that I have the macerator, I can attempt to get some gallium from that, and then when I centrifuge it the second time, there's another chance to get even more gallium. So then I can finally start getting into some of these bools, and as you'll see in later episodes, there are quests where there's a set of quests where we're trying to make a better bool, and those things require like 4 or something of these gallium arsenide crystals, and being able to have more gallium means we can make more of those crystals. So the other 2 things I had in mind to build here are the advanced assembling machine. get that guy done there. That way we can craft whatever we need to. And then afterwards, we have this advanced chemical reactor here. And there we go. So we've got our advanced chemical reactor that does complete a couple of quests for us on the Tier 3 tab. There you can see I completed all of the You're Gonna Hate This 1 through 4 in HV. And then we've got the other ones here for the Universal Macerator, for the advanced assembling machine. This is a tough choice. Do I want a loot bag or do I want a circuit? And then what do we have over on this one? 2 circuits. That's even, I like that even more. I'm definitely going to grab those 2 circuits. And then, let me think. Do I want 1 circuit or a loot bag? So that's the ultimate question there. Do I want 1 circuit? That last circuit actually would go into, I think we can put that into, the clean room? Multi-block goals. Here's the clean room. And the clean room controller, it only needs 1, so you only need to use 1 for the clean room controller, which means that we can actually use the other 2 to make something else, like say the cutting machine, to get into this phosphorus doped monocrystalline silicon boule. That would be fantastic to get to, simply because these things give us more bang for our buck. We get like 4 times the amount of wafers, and then those wafers, when you scribe them in an advanced precision laser engraver, give you more circuits as well, I believe. Let me double check that. If we go here and we go to the phosphorus, so this guy, he takes 2 crystals instead of just 1 like the previous one. It makes this guy. You cut them, it gives twice the wafers. Okay, so from 16 to 32 wafers, so 2 crystals, double the wafers, that's good. But then if you right-click on that and we take a look at what you can do with the precision laser engraver, let's just head over to, this one's one the red one, I've got a ruby lens, is the one I use a lot, and it gives you 4 of these circuits for every one of those. So you double the number of wafers, and then you quadruple the number of printed wafers that you then put into the cutting machine, and you get each of those pieces out. So it's a huge benefit to go that route, because you're spending double to get quadruple the amount of stuff you would normally get. So yeah, it's definitely worth taking this route to try and make that stuff. I think the only problem with this is the energy requirement involved. If we take a look at making this guy at once HV, which isn't a problem so much, it does require a gas, nitrogen in our case, because we can't make organocin or xenon, and then it's 600 seconds. It's only Canthal, so we can definitely cook it up, but needing that HV power, I may have to sidestep a few things and go make some kind of power generator, like let's say the HV gas turbine, just so that we can then cook this stuff down. So that's really where we end up being. We have the choice between, do I make an HV cutting machine that needs 2 circuits, or do we go for an HV power, such as the one for benzene, in order to make use of a benzene setup and get our extra power that way. We could also go with the gas engine. Let's see here. Let's take a look at, I believe it's here, how to generate power. This guy is 85% efficiency with the turbo gas turbine. The diesel one is 85%. Those were both the same. Yeah, 85%. Diesel is easier to make, and the combustion generator only takes up 1 circuit. So technically I could grab 2 of them and slap 2 HV generators down and have 2 amps of HV for the cost of those circuits if I went ahead and used these 2 to make that instead, and then the third one there can go towards our clean room. So I may actually take that route. Again, I don't have to make a lot of diesel. It does make a lot all at one time, so it's fewer batches, so I may end up going that route for now, just to get our power up and running so that we can run our EBF a bit more. So yeah, those are our options. I will consider it while I am working towards the next set of stuff. But I have racked up a ton of bags now, loot bags. So I'm going to go ahead and put these guys away up here. And if we take a look, I've got quite a few loot bags here. So why don't we go ahead and use this, this chest here that's mostly empty with just my dark armor. I don't know if I covered making the dark armor last episode. I think I did, but anyway, there it is along with the hang glider, just waiting for us to be able to get some of the vibrant alloy in order to make vibrant crystals, and then those vibrant crystals can get plugged into this thing and start getting us some powered armor. That, along with the copter pack, will make for a good way of getting around with a decent amount of protection. So if we start off, I've got a steam age bag. Of course, that's, you know, not the best thing ever, and it gave us a scuba helmet. I already have 2 scuba helmets, so yay, number 3. Let's see here, an IC2 crop bag. That gave us a book and some charcoal. Now here's one that was given. Let me see if I can find which one that was from real quick. It wasn't from that one. There it is. I got it from the Cropnalyzer is where I got this lucky bag that's already got fortune, and I got a dandelion. So even for fortune, okay, thanks for the dandelion, I think. Next, let's go with these 2 Forest Ranger basic bags, a stack of chestnut wood, and a thing of 32 cans. Okay. I'm not sure what we can do with cans. Smelt them down into tin nuggets. Otherwise, they don't look terribly useful. It looks like you can make capsules out of them for something. Anyway, let's keep moving on here. Tier 1 bags, a hammer and an internal storage from Steve Carts. I've only got 2 of those already, probably. A stack of arrows. And, ooh, I like glass. That's always good. Some potions of invisibility. I got those from somewhere. I didn't realize they were there. I didn't think I had... Anyway. Keep going. 8 more charcoal. A set of saplings. There we go. Some bread. Bread can go over here. Some seeds. Yay, trash loot. Leather pants. A wrench, a steel wrench, that's not bad. More glass, I will always take more glass. I can make use of glass. Creeper head, zombie head, and a wrench. Some books, book and quill rather. A top chest and some cheeseburger food. Another stack of screws and another zombie head. Okay, so not a whole lot of good loot there. Onto the tier 2 stuff. Polyethylene sheets, absolutely. Oh, some soul frames. Okay, those are useful. Not sure where I can put those there for now, and let me just sleep off the night. Yeah, a set of 4 soul frames is fantastic, actually. We can use that to work on some common bees. That'll be good. Beeswax. Ooh, red wheat seeds. I do not have red wheat yet. It is not one of the crops that I bred. I have gotten a few more crops. Yeah, we can go over those some other time. I've got a Stargadium sitting out there waiting to grow. So some vanadium steel ingots and an industrial diamond. More glass. A leather helmet and an iron to gold chest upgrade. Guess what? This will go right here, right now. That'll work. Okay, next we have some aluminum ingots, some seeds, some stainless steel ingots. Were those there before? I don't think they were. All right. Creative tool modifier. That might go on my bow. That'd be good, or my crossbow. That would be good. It could also be useful on a cleaver for when we need to start getting wither heads for things. Some Damascus steel ingots, a slime crystal, and a good integrated circuit. A miner's backpack. We already have one of those, but I won't say no. Some manganese ingots, coal, some vacuum tubes if we decide to go the old-fashioned route of making those things. A medium battery hull, always useful. Oh, and enough lithium to actually make it. Nice. That is excellent. Another stack of screws. A zombie head and another weapon. What weapon did we get this time? The tunneler. Reinforced, durability 50%, haste, emerald, redstone. That's repair materials cobalt. That's still a good, yeah, that's like it says, a tunneler. We can use that to do some mining, some digging up of some, what do you want to call it? Lots of cobble. I am still working on the outside of the base. I could use a ton of cobble. Another set of saplings. Yay, saplings. Sorry for all the noise here while I'm looking for... There they are. Those can go in there. Oops, and I missed one. That one. There we go. Some spider's eyes and another slime crystal. And then a book and some more aluminum ingots. All right, so that's it for the Tier 2. Let's go ahead and open these Tier 3s. Some sugar and some compressed bronze plates. Oh, those might actually be useful for something. Oh, well. All right, cool. We'll save that. Some boots and some more compressed bronze plates. Some slime balls. And, oh, hey, look at that. Oxygen gear. We don't have to make oxygen gear for our trip to the moon. That's excellent. And then some pressure plates. Again, I won't say no to pressure plates. Those are great. All right, so fantastic. We got a few other items in here, a couple of really good ones. The oxygen gear and this tunneler. We got a circuit that we can actually use that to make one of the HV circuits, and we got the stuff for a medium battery. All in all, not a bad set of loot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break here. I am going to consider how I want to do things. I think I'm going to go ahead and use these to make a couple of HV a couple of HV like the diesel generators, and then get those things set up so that I can make stainless steel faster, and then with more stainless steel we can get into our HV area that much quicker. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys back here after a bit. Yeah. Well, it's been literally a few days of game time. I spent a lot of time. You may notice the base looks a little bit different now. I basically encompassed an entire area using these bit blocks, and put some windows in so I can actually see the sky outside, because otherwise I don't actually know what time it is in game. But yeah, so I've done a few things. You can see this is my LV area. I've got all my LV machines, not all of them. There are still a couple that I haven't placed back down again yet, but there's the majority of them there. I have my MV machines here, and then I have my HV machines there. I've got a super tank full of oil just sitting right here instead of back over where it was in the house. And then here's my EBF moved from over there. This entire area is where the steam generation setup was. Now, I don't know if you guys know, I completely forgot. They changed it so that stuff like the railcraft, the boilers, these boilers here give off pollution per second for every one of their fireboxes. So with 18 of these guys, I was creating 360 pollution a second. And then when you go with the coke brick ovens, they produce 10 pollution a second, and I had 24 of those. So I was generating 500 pollution per second, even when I wasn't actively using the steam to generate power. So now I'm down to one advanced coke brick oven, which is 80 a second. So that's, 8 of those guys, but it does the work of 90 of these coke oven bricks. It's crazy fast. I like how fast it is. And then we have our EBF. And the EBF, yeah, the EBF does 400 pollution a second. And having it sitting there was also, while I was smelting up stuff, was causing quite a bit of pollution there as well. So what I have now is I have these 3 lines set up here. I have my little elevator block here that I can go downstairs. And if you notice, there is this setup right here. This is my advanced coke oven with the crop manager back here. I need a faster conveyor to pull it out, but there it is right there. So it's got all this stuff being pulled out, and it goes into 2 chests up there, and then I've got a little bit of the ender conduits and stuff running around to feed this guy. And as you can see, it's completely full up because it got filled with the wrong stuff again. Let's go ahead and get those guys out of there. And then those, you know, it makes the charcoal makes the wood tar goes into the distillery then makes the benzene, and you can see I've got 800 buckets of benzene. I've got 1 MV gas turbine. The one that I was using to power the EBF powers this entire setup to include the farm, so it's self-sustaining. And then I have the super tank here hooked up to a turbo gas turbine, which does an HV of power, and then I have it running around. I've got this medium voltage transformer, and then I've got copper that runs up above. I've got this high amp LV transformer into a low voltage battery buffer, and then that guy runs over here and powers all of those machines. So that is the new power setup. I did check off on my little task list that I wanted a basic, quote-unquote basic benzene setup, and that's it right there. That's about, you know, as basic an automation as you can get. It uses 2 ender conduit, 1 pressurized fluid conduit, and then just some cables and transformers in order to power itself. The new super tanks are nice. They have an auto fluid output, so it auto outputs into the MV engine. So even if I run out of power, it'll start itself. If there's any left in there, it'll start itself back up. So it's a real easy to get going. The only problem is that when I run out of the spruce logs, it shoves charcoal into it, and it ends up making this coal coke. And coal coke is all right, it just isn't helpful for what we're trying to do with it. One of the things that, the reason it took so long, I ended up moving my basic blast furnace, the brick blast furnace, over here because I smelted up 10 stacks of steel. And while that was going on, I was using the EBF to smelt up a stack of Damascus steel, a stack of vanadium steel, several stacks of black steel and dark steel, because I am working my way through all the materials and everything necessary in order to work on a pyrolyze oven, the clean room, an oil drilling rig, and then I was looking at all the cost. At this point in time in my previous playthrough, I had a stack each of LV, MV, and HV circuits, and so I was looking at what the cost is. The costs are vastly different now. The primary problem being that you either have to use up a lot of silicon in order to make enough wafers to use the annealed copper in order to make diodes, or if you go like the route I've got highlighted right here, you can make tantalum using IC2 coolant and then make those into wires, and it takes fewer wafers, but it still takes a lot of silicon. So one of the things I'm looking at doing is automating a silicon setup between an electrolyzer and 2 chemical reactors, and that way I can just dump in silicon and the raw silicon, and it will eventually process all of it. So that's one of the things on my list. You can see I'm slowly cleaning out the house. I've got my stuff here, my nice big set of boxes here. When you load up initially these boxes, you can barely use any of them. Due to server tick constraints, they have the client configs set up for what the servers would expect, and it's super low on being able to do anything like this. Even though it's got it under basic automation to even have a setup like this, they've got the configs tuned down. So I had to go back in and tune them back up. Basically going into the mod options, going into what are these guys called? Project Red. And going in, no, it's not Project Red. You have to do it in, maybe it is. One of the two of them. You have to come in here and you have to go in and set the values so that you can have bigger storage drawers. It might be storage drawers then that's doing it. But anyway, yeah, these guys make it so that you have to set those configs if you're playing solo. Otherwise, you're very limited in how many of these 2x2 storage drawers you're able to configure to use with these routed pipes. But I have all my stuff. For a while there, I don't know if I was recording any of it. I would look in here and I'd be like, wait, I just put in like 3 stacks of stuff. Where did it go? It went into the controller. The controller put it in, and then because of the config settings, it couldn't see it anymore, because this thing, like, I guess has to pull everything that thing can see. Anyway, or it might just be the storage drawer controller. That might be what it is. If we go into mod options and we go to storage drawers config and we look at integration, no, one of these in here somewhere has it set up so that you can't deal with it. But anyway, I updated those numbers so that I could have a little bit more storage there. I moved my kitchen over here. We still have our portals right where we left them. Nothing going on there. But in the meantime that it took for me to smelt all of those different metals, I was out here doing some of my plant stuff. You can see I finally have blaze reed. I have a set of stick reed over there, some nether wart, and then some various other things like the tear stalks and some corpse plants, and I even got a space plant to grow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that to propagate. And then I did get Stargadium. I think I already showed the Stargadium, and I was even able to get one of their seeds. So I've just been going through and doing some various seeds, trying to upgrade the stick reed so that it's got better stats. If we take a look, I think my best one is like a 15 to 1642. So that's pretty good right there. So yeah, we've got that going on. Also in the meantime, I have been doing lots of the jungle bees. Trying to get, yes, that's very nice. Trying to get the silky comb. If you have done bees that are just without any kind of frames or anything and just letting them run on their own, you'll know how long that takes. And I'm up to 3 and an eighth of a stack there. And then way in the back there, in the shield, right here, these 2 orangish colored dots, those things are 2 more apiaries that have a cultivated and a common bee in them. So I'm very excited to have started the bee journey. Getting the common and the cultivated is extremely difficult. Getting them purebred, it can take quite a bit of time. So my bee breeding, I now have these 2 guys, and I can start looking at setting up some of the what are those other bees called? Darn it, I can't even remember what they're called. Ignoble, that's the one. Some of these ignoble bees, get them converted over to common and cultivated, and then that way I can start working on breeding up diligent and noble bees. And so we're gonna keep on going with our bee journey there. Yeah. Under novice thaumaturge, I have been doing a lot of stuff. I did a bunch of research. If I go ahead and open up the research, again, this is all while I was basically standing around. I did Under alchemy, I did everything that's necessary in order to get the automated alchemy and stuff set up so that I could shove items in and get the essentia out, basically everything up to the point of infusion. When it comes to artifice, I've got infusion unlocked and I'm ready to start it, but I haven't gotten that far, to include some arcane bellows. So I do have some warp. Every once in a while, you'll probably see a message pop up down here, like you thought you saw something out of the corner of your eye. Fortunately, I'm not above 10 permanent warp, so I just see a message every now and then. I don't see a bunch of other stuff. Other things that I've done under apomancy, I went ahead and unlocked all the frames. With the exception of maybe this guy right here, Dimensional Singularity. There might be some stuff under that, but I've unlocked most of those frames. Under Thaumic Bases, I don't think I unlocked anything more than just the Thaumic nature to the Aurelia to the Primal Shrooms, just so that I have those Vish Shrooms that give me stuff. Tinkering, I went all the way to the Thaumic Restorer. That's one of the first things I want to get when I get to the Infusion Altar, is to do that. I went ahead and researched the Botania book. I did the Witchery Oven and Anointing Paste. I've done the Brewing Stand, the Enchanting Table, and the Ender Chest, even though that's not until IV. Didn't touch that one. Gadgets, no, nothing from that one. And then I thought there was a little bit more I had done. But anyway, yeah, so a little bit of research going on, trying to get ourselves set up. You can see all my Vish Rooms there. They are going to move into the corner here. And then I'm probably going to put a doorway out this way and do the witchery stuff outside there. And here you can see the Olympics set up as I get ready to start making enough of the warded jars to deal with that. So yeah, lots of stuff happened. Going on, just a big base rework, trying to get into a decent looking building. You guys can complain about the fact that I have basically a giant L for a base. And then I have a few things here that I've got to clean up. I need to clean up the smeltery and move it somewhere. There's one of those messages down in the bottom left corner. And then just up here, this place is pretty much done. The only exception is I should cover up this hole. There was a water tank here, and it was one of my last water tanks, so I was using it to fill up with water. And then I'm going to chop up the house and get the house taken care of and basically enclose this the rest of the way. So yeah, lots of work. Not a whole lot of progress other than you guys can see all the quests that I have finished. Working with oil, I did some more ethylene, just trying to get these quests cleaned up. Made the HV gas turbine. Forest and multi-farms, I'm ready to start making an actual farm. I just need to figure out where I'm going to set it up. When it comes to fishing, farming, and cooking, I finished the reed and resin. So now I can start looking at hitting up some of these other guys and getting them knocked out. And then lots of chemistry stuff. I went ahead and I did the ethylene, I did the hydrochloric acid, I did the polyvinyl chloride and those sheets. Benzene, I collected up a stack of that. And then over here I did naphtha, and then I finally got enough ardite and cobalt to finish that quest. So yeah, lots of little things. I'm going to go through, I'm going to accept a bunch of rewards, and then basically expect the next episode, which will probably follow fairly quickly on the heels of this one, to start us off by opening all of the loot bags that we have. I'm going to have to make room, but yeah, you can see we've got a fair few loot bags here that we're going to want to open, and we'll go through and get them all open up and see what we get for rewards, and maybe we can start doing some automation. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Till then.